Hello everyone, welcome to Chasing a Murderer. Today we're going to go over a new story that's coming out of Boise, Idaho. A beautiful young 27-year-old Gwen Brunelle. Gwen is a very family-oriented girl according to her loved ones, and she was actually engaged to her boyfriend. And one of Gwen's biggest loves in her life was her rabbits. She actually started breeding rabbits at a very young age. She also was extremely interested in coding. But her love of her life were her rabbits, and this has been something she has loved nearly her entire life. So Gwen tells her boyfriend that she actually had bought or was going to buy 11 show rabbits, and that she was going to meet a judge in California to do some training. So on June 27th of 2023, she gets in her gray Honda Element. She told her family that she had planned to actually drive from Boise, Idaho to Toll House, California, and that she would check in with them when she reached Reno, Nevada. But in the surveillance video, Sanderson says that he spots something quite odd in the video. That he noticed that Gwen had left home wearing a blue shirt and Nike tennis shoes, but at Jackson's, she was wearing knee-high dress boots and a red shirt. What is also strange is Gwen had actually taken 3 hours to cover a 20-mile span from her home to the Jackson store. And police would later not find any way to account for that missing time. They said for the rest of that day, there was just no trace of Gwen's movements. So something else that was interesting. That judge that Gwen was supposed to meet with in California, later on in this case, they'll reach out to that judge only to find out that Gwen never reached out to them, and that judge says they never have any plans to meet with her. That's strange. So would this be a lie? Was Gwen trying to hide something? So what we learned so far is June 26th, she leaves her home around 11 a.m. Her phone is on low. She has packed at least a week's worth of clothes. At some point that day, her phone is turned off. She has 11 show rabbits with her. She changes her clothes around 20 miles into her trip, where they discover she's wearing these knee-high boots and a red shirt. By June 27th, she has traveled nearly 8 hours away from her home. Her family is in contact with her at some time during this point, and they will discover that she was actually at another convenience store gas station in Jordan Valley. And around, I guess it was June 27th, someone spots her vehicle at Succor Creek Road, which is a half mile off of 95. So I'm just actually putting the story together. It's a little confusing. There's some contradictive stuff out there. And what we do know is that June 30th, Gwen's car is actually found at that same place that it was last seen, and her rabbits still inside the car. Several of them perished. And if you know rabbits, rabbits are very, very delicate to heat. The fact that not all of the rabbits were perished when they come up on them is interesting to me, considering how hot it is. This may be able to give you a clue of the last time that she was at her car. What they discover is something I found interesting is her bathrobe that she brought from her house. They said was folded like a seat cushion. Is there a certain way that you can fold bathrobes to know that they're a seat cushion? So they say it was outside of her car. I'm still kind of looking into that one, trying to figure out, why they think this and what's going on with that robe. The main thing is we know that she did not seem to be in a hurry to get to California, at least at the start, but she talks to one of the convenience store clerks. They ask Gwen how she's doing, and she says, well, I'm in a hurry. But where is she in a hurry to go and why? It seems that a lot of people connected to this case suspect there's a possibility that she is maybe seeking out a rendezvous of some type. The truth is, we don't know. So they start searching for her, but they find no signs of Gwen anywhere, at least not until September 10th. There's a search operation in progress, and they discover about 1.5 miles away from where they found her abandoned car a shirt that belongs to her stuck in barbed wire. How the heck would her shirt end up that far away from where her car was, hanging on a barbed wire fence? So I haven't been able to look up and see what the winds are like in that area, but there is quite a bit of open area there, mixed with brush as well. Now, some of the things I wanted to share, some of her interests is cosplay. And I wanted to know this because of what they said she was wearing the first day when she disappeared, that she had changed out of that t-shirt and jeans and tennis shoes into this knee-high boots and a red shirt. As you know, a lot of people her age are interested in cosplay, role-playing, and believe it or not, Larkin has become quite popular. But a lot of people are wondering, why would you take 11 rabbits with you in order to have a rendezvous? Especially as hot as it is, that's going to be dangerous to travel with rabbits. They are not good at dealing with heat, especially domesticated rabbits. So what we learned is police had actually suspended the search for Gwen in July 10th, I guess, because they couldn't come up with anything. And when the family and their little search efforts come together, September 10th, they discovered that shirt that belongs to Gwen. It kind of starts the, search all over again. So this weekend, they're supposed to be searching again for missing Gwen Brunelle. She was supposed to be hundreds of miles away from Idaho, getting coached and rabbit judging. But that doesn't seem to be what her actual plans were. What was she doing in that area? Who was she hanging out with? Where was she sleeping? Her family, like I said, hopes that she was just linking up with someone, especially since she changed her clothes 20 miles into the trip. Why would you do that? Especially change into what she changed into, it just doesn't make sense. While I am hoping for the best as well, it's not likely that she's going to leave her car abandoned with 11 rabbits inside. And as far as we know, police still have no signs or ideas of where Gwen was spending her first night out on this trip. I mean, she was out in a desert area. Where did she go? Now, we heard that her phone was nearly dead when she was leaving, and that they believe that her cell phone dropped off the network soon after she left, and they're saying that indicates someone shut it off. It also could be that it ran out of energy. So they're saying that she was on some type of mood stabilizing medication. I'm not going to say that it's mental illness. I'd rather not push it to that because that's not what it seems to be. What it seems to me at this point, speculating, that she was maybe speaking to someone. Was it someone that had the same common interests, rabbits? Was it something else that they had a common interest in? Whatever it was, she most likely was meeting up or seeing someone. And whoever it is, they seem to know how to manipulate her very well. Whoever it is, she seems to trust at least a little. So it'd be interesting to know if police have actually been able to go through her computer, any of her phone information, and possibly find some type of connection to someone from this area. Predators today, they have a new game. They have to, because with technology out there, as you discovered with Carly Russell, who actually planned and executed her own abduction, found out that even the highways are being recorded with cameras. So really, the only places left to get away from cameras are these desert-like areas, because even deer trails, hiking areas have these little trail cams. And so we're going to see a lot more people gearing or aiming towards people in rural areas in order to escape these phone towers, the cameras, technology altogether. I mean, Savannah Spurlock, if it weren't for her mother acting so quickly and the police able to jump on his case, causing a problem for them to be able to dispose of her body, I think he would have got away with it. You have several children, Monkey, Summer Wells, that are kind of abducted from very small towns and have plenty of rural area to kind of escape. And so here we are. I mean, Gwen's in this very open area. Not a lot out there. And so whatever could happen to someone could happen, and you would never know. But I'm hoping, like her parents, that maybe she's 27 years old. Maybe she's just having this little rendezvous, but I doubt it, considering the fact that, she abandoned her car and the rabbits. Now, where they found her shirt kind of tells me that there's a possibility that maybe, she was being held somewhere that wasn't necessarily inside the house, or there might be some type of burn pile in the open to where some of that stuff was flying away. How would her shirt get on a barbed wire fence 1.5 miles away from her car? I just hope they find out something here pretty quick, and I hope they're able to bring her home safely. I would like for you guys to share her face and her story. Maybe you know someone in the Oregon area that maybe might know something. And so there's another story that just actually popped out where a woman goes missing in Oklahoma. Michaela Byers was seen leaving her home September 15th of 2023, possibly for a date, climbing into a white Chevrolet pickup truck with tinted windows. She was reported missing, and they searched for her. And just recently, on Wednesday, her cousin discovers her body a few miles from her home, where she is wrapped in a carpet. Get this, guys, placed in a drainage culvert, which was running under one of the roads in a nearby area. Just a horribly sad story. Right now, that white male, who is said to have a dark beard and who is bald, is not being identified. But they do suspect that this was foul play. So another homicide in a rural area. 2 missing Kansas women have been found deceased in a rural Colorado about 10 days after they started investigating their missing loved ones. Linda L. Estrada, 44, and Amy R. Ford, 39, were found in eastern Colorado on September 20th. And a woman that was found several years later after she went missing was found on a rural road in Georgia, Olivia Fowler. And here's where it kind of gets interesting. Another rural Oregon death is actually real. And in the article, it says that she's actually found off of a forested area off of Southeast Judd Road in rural Clackamas County. So this would have been in late March that she disappeared, and that she turned out deceased in April. But families are starting to gather and figure out there's a lot of girls going missing, and are they connected? They say there's 5 new girls. Amongst them is Bridget Webster. Her body was also found in late April in Polk County. Kristen Smith, who vanished in December of 2022, 22-year-old, whose body was found 2 months later near the Southeast Deerdorf Road and Flavel Street in Portland. Right now, they say that Polk and Clackamas County Sheriff's offices are kind of talking to one another and getting out with partner agencies to see if their respective cases are connected to any others. So is there a serial killer on the loose? I believe that there's just a lot of warped people out there. And these abductions, these women that are just disappearing and then showing up deceased, this is not okay, because it's getting more and more obvious that these things are happening more often. Someone out there is targeting women, and they're really looking in these rural areas, not only women, but children too. And I've started investigating some of these. I just haven't had time because I'm still working on that Lori Vallow case, trying to finish up that series. It's difficult to be able to put all of my time and effort into these stories at this time. Ladies, you have daughters, sisters, mothers, grandmothers, friends, hook them up with Mace. Also, tell them to be careful, especially when it comes to dating apps, meeting people online, period. If you know anything, please contact Crime Stoppers. Call 911. And it don't matter what it is. It could be the smallest little thing. Let's not forget, we still have cases that have no answers whatsoever, like Jasmine Robinson from Archer, Florida, Aisha Degree, Summer Wells, and Dulce. Guys, please, if you like my work, push the like button right now. Subscribe. Don't forget to comment your thoughts below. Do you think there's a serial killer in the Oregon area? I love you guys, and I'll see you guys soon.